Okay, people. So now it's, well, the 14th, right? It's 9:46 in the morning. I got up at 8:30 and I went to sleep at 2:30 in the morning. So in other words, I was up for 24 hours on November 13th, 2018. Because of the stress that's been going on, people. And it's getting worse, and that's why I'm doing another video. That's what domestic violence does, people. It just escalates over a period of time. Right? And this is what was happening with Shimei. She was being bum rushed by basically 3 individuals that were running in a pack. Right? Taking snips at her, one at a time. Snip here, snip there, and a snip there, and another snip, and then another snip. Until finally she was dead. And now they've moved on to me, people. Now they've moved on to me. Right, basically. I'm not just dealing with the father here, people. Okay? I'm dealing with the sister that wants to punch me out. A 22-year-old that wants to punch me out. Right? Because I'm not going to stay quiet on what happened to my daughter. There's no resolution there, people. When there's a resolution, I'll let you know. Right? There's a reason why there's such a thing as called, birth certificates and that kind of stuff, right? Because Shimei did exist. At one point, she was alive. Right? I'm taking off. You can see what I'm doing here. Right? So I just want to say that, now that they're getting comfortable with this situation in terms of, what do you call it? Causing trouble for me. Right? They don't care if I'm going to take a bus in the pouring rain with an empty buggy on Thursday to go pick up Amari at 8:30 at night. I'll have to leave here at like 7:15 just to be able to be there by 8:30 on a bus. Serious. I'm not taking my car's son until I know the car is fixed. It started this morning and he ran off. But he went to work, right? Because he works, people. He's been working for a long, long time. Just like Shimei used to work. Right? Shimei was even working when she was pregnant until finally she just couldn't work anymore. And she got sick from being stressed out all the time. Right? She had a very hard pregnancy. An extremely hard pregnancy from stress. Arguing all the time. And whatnot. And, so anyway, I just want to say, I don't know. So I'll be taking a bus, at least by 7:30, no matter the weather, with an empty buggy, to go pick up Amari. And by the time I get there, it'll be around 8:30 or so, if not a little later. And then by the time I get home, 8:30, 9:30, it will be close to 10. 9:30, close to 10. 10 o'clock at night. Sometimes Andre will be with me, sometimes he won't. Right? While those people sit up in their little 50-year-old townhouse that's probably cockroach and bedbug infested, because those buildings, that's what they're all about. They got bedbugs and cockroaches through the whole buildings. All of Surrey with the old buildings, that's apartment buildings and little condos and all those things. They're all bug infested. Trying to figure out how they can antagonize me some more, right? Because, seriously, people, if I don't let them take Amari on Thursday, they'll call the cops on me. That's what will happen. Instead of me calling the cops on them, they will call the cops on me, saying, the court ordered that we're allowed to go pick him up, and she's supposed to pick him up after, even though it was with the agreement of my son's car. And now that I don't have access to my son's car, I really have no way to pick him up. I never really had a way to pick him up. But there was so much pressure to let Dad have parenting time that, like I said, my lawyer approached my son. And then finally my son said, okay. He didn't want to, right? He didn't feel that he was obligated to do that, right? Since this mother wants to help her son so much so that he can have his parenting time, why doesn't she bring back the baby? If she's willing to go out of her way to pick up the baby, right? And cause all this trouble, why doesn't she bring the baby home? She cares so much about this baby, right? Instead of being on a power trip, because that's what it's about, it's being on a power trip, right? Because they're plotting and scheming, right? So, I'm not going to give them a chance to call the cops on me. And I'm not going to call the cops for something stupid like this. Right? Doesn't make any sense. That's what they want. That's what they want, people. That's why they're doing this. Right? Because they're trying to make me look like I'm, irresponsible. And emotional. Yeah, I'm emotional, people, but I don't go around threatening to fucking burn houses down and shit like that and shoot people and punch out people. Right? I don't sit at home and plot and scheme and connive with my kids. Right? How I can hurt somebody and then say, oh, it's all about Amari. Well, if it was all about Amari, why couldn't this woman, when Tisha texted her last night when we were in the car, offered, I'm telling you people, we were like 4 minutes away from her place. And Tisha said, well, I don't think we can pick him up on Thursday because, we're sitting out here in a gas station, stuck, and the car won't start. And my son had problems already to begin with. But anyway, you know what she said? Too bad. You find your own way. I'm coming on Thursday. That's what the court ordered. You're supposed to pick him up. Oh, well, that's it. Bottom line. You do it for yourself. But yet, if I mention the name Shimei, this woman gets all mad and storms off. Says, it's all about Amari. It's not about her. It's about Amari. Well, if it was about Amari, why didn't she come offer help pick us up last night and drive us home? Or at least drive Tisha home with the baby and left me with the car. Why did it take strange men to stand around for an hour, right? Offering their time and made sure that they weren't going to leave just so that I and the baby and Tisha weren't stranded. But yet this woman was 4 minutes away. 4 minutes away, people. And she couldn't get in her car and help Tisha to get home with the baby while I was stuck there with the car. Okay, this is what I'm dealing with. Right? And now they're threatening to keep the baby Tuesday night so that they can bring him back on Wednesday, because I can't pick him up Tuesday night now unless I take a bus. Threatening to keep him Wednesday night because she picks him up Tuesday from 5:30 and I'm supposed to pick him up at 8:30, but I can't now unless I take a bus, which I will. And I'll videotape that, people. Okay? But let's just say I can't, for some reason. They're going to keep the baby because that's what the court ordered. They're throwing the court order at me, but they're making their own rules. So the court never ordered that. But because was ordered to pick up my grandson in my son's car at 8:30, and since I can't make it, they've taken it upon themselves. Not just one, it's all three. We're dealing with a group, right? All three have decided that they're keeping the baby Tuesday night, and that grandmother will bring back the baby in the morning while she goes to work. Okay? And then the same thing is going to happen Thursday. She's going to come here at 5:30 after work and then pick up the baby, right? And then no matter the weather, I have to go pick him up at 8:30 at night, Thursday night. And if I don't make it, they're going to keep the baby. So now they got the baby 2 times a week. And she's going to bring the baby back in the morning before she goes to work because they're so much better than I am, right? While the father sits at home and does nothing. Like I said, he just waits. He waits for the delivery and he waits for the pickup. And he's just agitating the whole situation. Right? They're feeding off of each other. As they all sit there and act like Shimei was never born. Right? Shimei never existed. And then it's all about the baby. Even though they got me now running around in the dark, in the pouring rain, freezing cold, picking up the baby so that they can go phone social services and then say I'm being negligent. That's what they'll do, people. Once I start picking up the baby in a stroller at that time of night, in the freezing cold, pouring rain, they're going to phone up MCFD and they're going to say that I'm unfit grandmother because I'm running around at night in the dark, in the cold, with the baby, right? Because I can't provide adequate transportation. So that the dad can sit on his ass and have pickup and delivery at no cost to him. As they completely deny that my daughter even existed. This is what's happening, people. And then she's going to come pick him up on Saturday at 9 in the morning. Right? Disrupts the house at 9 in the morning. And then bring him back at 5:30. And like, we don't know what they're feeding him because they're not telling us. We've asked them lots and lots of times to tell us what the fuck they're feeding him. All we know is that he's getting severely constipated and like it's a serious situation. Right? And they don't even take that serious. Right? They don't, people. They don't. Because that's not what it's about. It's about taking the baby away from me. That's what it's about. That's why Shimei's dead. Right? Because this shit was happening to Shimei when I had Shimei upstairs to be in her room because that's where she wanted to be with the baby. And I said, just don't have that man upstairs. If you really, really want to visit with him, with the baby, go downstairs. But no. They couldn't follow the rules. They had to make their own rules, people, and start creeping my house at 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, going through all my shit, right? As they were bum rushing Shimei. Till finally I said, after a few days of that, I said, no, that can't happen. You need to go back downstairs. But because the rooms weren't transferred over yet, they bum rushed Shimei to go to his mother's house because that's where Julian was living, at his mother's house. So they, not what he's telling everybody else. So he took Shimei to his mother's house, right? Because Shimei thought, okay, well, we'll try that. And then that's when they hoodwinked her into, doing birth certificate online, picked a fucking fight. So they took off her name before they pushed the upload, and that's why Amari doesn't have her last name. Because they picked a fight and fucking made it so that her name wasn't on there. And then they picked another fight, right? Julian was pushing on her. She had only had a cesarean section like 5 days ago, and he's pushing on her. Well, the sister is standing there holding the baby, telling her mother to go make a phone call so somebody can come pick the sister with the baby up and disappear. And before that happened, though, Shimei clued in, went and got the baby, called a taxi and fucking left everything behind, people. Everything. That's when the sister stole Shimei's phone. Never gave it back to Shimei, even though Shimei kept asking and asking and asking for it back. And then a week later, the mother came with a big attitude to my house and tossed Shimei's shit out in the fucking road and drove off. Right? As she's stubbing her nose up at me. Right? Well, she's still stubbing her nose up at me. Because she works. She's so much better than I am. Right? It's a very bad situation, people. This is what Shimei was going through. She was being gang stalked by three individuals that had violent tendencies and liked to plot and fucking scheme and cause trouble and weren't being very helpful. And now they've taken that same freaking attitude and they brought it to me. And now they've got me running around in the middle of the dark, pouring fucking rain, freezing fucking cold, all just so that they can call MCFD and say that I'm an irresponsible grandmother. That's why they're doing it, people. Not only are they trying to make it hard for me, but they're trying to make it look like I'm irresponsible. Because I can't provide adequate transportation. When I don't even want my grandson going there in the first place. Because honestly, there should be a restraining order against this man.